Hello again, YouTube. This is the Truth Man, the Video Factory. We got a lot of short ones coming out today. Me in the car, as usual. Maybe one day I'll sit down and make an edit with the wonderful pictures that you all so love. Some of y'all remind me of the kid that didn't read the book unless it had pictures in it. That's how some of y'all remind me of with these videos. You know, it's really about the information, but you make it about the illustration. But I'm talking about relocation and how you know whether or not you should move. How you know whether or not you should move. Okay. Here's some of the points. Did you grow up in a high crime area? Did you grow up in a project? Did you grow up around people who they're grown now and they're not doing anything? They're not starting businesses. They're not working jobs, staying on the job. They're selling drugs. They're doing any illegal or negative activities. They're trying to gang bang or be in a clique. If the people that you grown to love are like this, that's one way you need to go to a whole different state. Whole different state. Don't go to a different city. Go to a whole different state and make it far if possible. Make it far. If the people in your town don't respect you, like they ignore you on social media, they don't try to see what you're up to, they don't come see you. If just ignore that ring. Somebody they always call when I'm doing this video. Those are a couple of ways, you know. If you're not close to your family, like you're not close, like where you tight with them, like where you go see them on a regular basis, they come see you on a regular basis. Now, if you got all of these things, I'm saying, it's just common sense. You need to move to a different state, move to a pleasant suburb. Like if you grew up in sketchy areas and this applies to you, the people you know ain't really doing nothing. Your town is infested with crime. Well, I mean, it's suburbs all over the place. Like, but make sure you suburban in your mind. Like, make sure you are not a SHIT starter, troublemaker, whatever you want to call it. Make sure that's not you. And if it's not you, then move somewhere where it's not the rest of the people or where it's not the majority of the people. It ain't no perfect place. Another thing, if you're not making enough money from your job to get the things that are luxurious and make a person happy, a nice car, a nice new car, nice place, you live in either in a nice apartment complex or you live in a nice home in a nice area. If these things don't apply to you, then you need to move. You need to work on getting that. See, you know what's messed up? A lot of people be trying to have baby after baby, but they be hood-minded. Like, they not trying to get this stuff. Some of them, I don't understand how a guy that doesn't work a business or a job is making babies, when even the guys that got stable jobs not making babies. Like, the majority of the guys with stable jobs not making. So how are these guys that don't have stable jobs making all these kids? That's something going on. There's something going on inside. Something going on inside. Another thing, if your kids are not troublemakers, but they're getting in trouble, they're getting in fights with other kids, they're getting teased for what they don't do. If your kids are good kids, and they in bad environments, or they getting teased for what they don't do, or they getting into it with these type of guys, the children of the corn, troublemaker kids, you need to move. You need to move. Move. Don't try to listen. And I want to say this to teenagers. If you a nerd, you on your way. And this is coming from somebody who, I used to be in program of academically talented in my school. It's called PAT. The whole time, like, my environment, I can't blame my environment, but like, I was around like a lot of different stuff, and I still was able to finish school. But once I finished school and once I wasn't playing sports or in college no more, all of that ghetto hood stuff came out. And I got into all this different lifestyle stuff that I shouldn't have been doing. I ain't never been addicted to drugs, but I ain't gonna say I never dealt with them, if you can read between the lines. So if your kid is a nerd, move somewhere where he can be around other kids just like him. If he want to play video games all day, don't stop him. Stop trying to get him to go outside. It's not like it was in the 80s. Let him play his games. Because I knew a kid, that's all he wanted to do was play video games. His mother started making him go outside. Why don't you go play with the other kid? The other kids was up to no good, and he ended up doing prison time. Like literal prison time. Should have just let him play his video games. If that's what they want to do, if they want to stay in the house, eat snacks, crack jokes, play video, leave them alone. Let them do it. Even in their 20s. Even in their 20s. Stop running these guys off. That's what's wrong with the United States. That's one reason why foreigners can come over here and they can get rich, because their families allow them to do it. Are you a grown man? No. As long as they listening to you, let them stay there. Stop running, especially if you got good kids, like they might be 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Stop trying to send them to the wolves. What they gonna do? Get somebody pregnant? A ratchet? This is all the ways you know you need to move. Like me, I know when I move, my son, I got 2 grown sons, I know they gonna come right with me. And that's how it should be. Like, you should be close to your kids like that. Why would they stay here? Milwaukee is a war zone. The job market has gotten better, but it's a war zone. Like, I'm in the suburbs right now. They be out here. Like the suburb, like the lake, the neighborhood around the lake, obviously is suburbs. But now those dudes be down there, shirt off, hanging out of cars. I don't, listen. This is me, and this is how you should think too. If you're not trying to live a crime-free life, where you work, where you have your own business, where whether or not you go to church or not, you believe in God and you try to live the way you think He will want you to live. If you not like that, I don't want nothing to do with you. Now, if you want to change, I'll work with you, I'll deal with you. Because I don't got nothing against you. But people who want to keep that lifestyle and try to criticize people like me, oh, you supposed to be from such and such. You know, so what? Because I grew up in the area, I got to live like that my whole life. Stop it. Stop it, man. Get away from these type of people. Move to a whole, don't move. Like, people try to move, like in Wisconsin, we got Milwaukee, West Allis, Kenosha, Racine, Brookville, all that. They try to move to another city. They still have access to you. When you need, okay, watch this. Drug addicts, move away from them. I don't care if they're your relatives. You got to be careful in your dealings. They'll steal something. They'll bring somebody to your house. You end up getting set up. See, some of y'all not street smart. Drug dealers, people running these streets, they shouldn't know where you live either. There's somebody been there, followed them, and think they live in your house and shoot your house up. I'm telling you how Milwaukee is, man. If you got nieces this day in this life, you really, your nieces are good people, they just deal with bad people, they need to move. Or maybe you need to move and allow them to move where you at and help them if need be a little bit. Do you want to be going to their funeral? The fact of the matter is, if you're not this type of person, you need to move to a better environment. Like when I went down to Arlington, Texas, yes, guys try to act that way down there. But as a whole, Arlington was a lot better. In Milwaukee, you can walk around at night, all type of stuff. Police presence. The police ain't gonna play with them dudes down there. They could talk all that stuff on YouTube all they want. Try that stuff and watch how the police do them. They do not play. Fort Worth, Texas, Arlington, them police don't be playing. And those dudes, in the back of their mind, they know if they do something harsh enough, they gonna get the death penalty or they ain't gonna never get out of jail. All that liberal stuff like Milwaukee, that don't fly down there. And they know that. So, these are the things that make as reasons for you to move. If you're a woman and your guy, you don't want him no more. He beating on you. Move. And don't tell him where you at. If he beating on you, what kind of father you think he gonna be? He'll try to, I want to see my kid. Then as soon as he see you, he's gonna go upside your head again. You're gonna go upside your head again. Tell him like this here. When I believe that you have changed, then you could come around and get yourself, learn some fighting techniques and get yourself some protection. Don't let these dudes just take your life, beat all on you and stuff. If that's what they want to do, return the favor back to them. Protect yourself. Y'all be letting it, what? Come on now. And then some of the girls that I done seen do that, I know they know how to fight and probably could beat some of these dudes. They just too sentimental to them, do rocking socking them. You need to get off that rocking socking. You sentimental towards dude because of stuff acts he performed on you. Get out of here with that, man. But these are some of the reasons I would say. Reasons you need to get somewhere safe and clean. Where you live, if you like living there, it just says a lot about you. Houses all tilted sideways, about to fall down. You hearing gunshots and ambulances all the time. People getting their house broke in all the time in your neighborhood. Rats. You seeing rats all the time. Roaches. This says a lot about you. You don't value yourself. You don't value yourself enough to say, man, forget these people and forget what they talking about. I'm up. And change, get out of that ratchet mindset. Because people ain't gonna want to deal with you. You go to like Flower Mound, Texas or somewhere, and you a ratchet, man, them people ain't gonna want to deal with you. Sugarland, Texas. You might have a few dudes here and there that mess with you a little bit. They ain't gonna want to deal with you like that per se. But, you know, these are some of the ways you know you need to move. You need to move. If your money ain't growing, you need to move. If you have a business mindset, but you live in a city where the people in your city, like, all they want to do is give their money to foreigners, you need to move. If you black and you have business aspirations, You have failed businesses, and everywhere you look, you seeing people that's not black, people that's from other countries and stuff, opening up business. And all these people who had excuses when it came to your stuff, you need to get away from them. Go somewhere that's more diverse. Like Texas is more diverse. Like, yeah, you deal with a little bit of that, but it's more diverse. Like, they don't care what color you are. What do you have to offer? And that's the majority of them. You might find small pockets of Latinos and maybe a few blacks that don't like other blacks. But as a whole, it's going to be more diverse and better for business for you. Like, even shockingly, even some parts of Mississippi, like they gon' let you do your thing. Like, if you go to certain parts, they gonna let you do your thing, like Hattiesburg. Like, you gonna have some y'all going back over there now. Y'all know how we do it down here. You gonna have some of that. But it's gonna be safer in a lot of these places. Do your research. Go to spotcrime.com. Wherever you want to move, look at the crime rate in that area. Look at how much stuff happens around that area. You know, but don't die in a city that you don't even like. Like me, I learned a lot in Milwaukee. I appreciate Milwaukee, but I mean, Milwaukee is not what it was in the 80s and 90s. But that's all I had. This is The Truth Man. The channel is no matrix, no staying in slums around slummy, crummy people your whole life instead of moving, trying to go somewhere you can have better things, be around better people. No simping. All subjects channel. Thanks for watching.